Hey YouTube. So first off, I know my camera looks horrible, and I'll try to go into that later. But first, what this video is actually about, which is what to do when you think you're an Aspie. First off, and this is really important to me, whatever diagnosis you have or think you have or whatever, please don't use it as an excuse to behave badly. I've seen lots of people do this, not just with autism spectrum disorders, but with lots of other things as well, like personality disorders and attention disorders and whatnot. I've seen people use it as an excuse for everything bad they do, and that is not cool. So whatever the degree of spectrum that you're on and whatever your diagnosis, please do not use it as an excuse. First off, for your own sake, because it gets you nowhere, but also just the general reputation of people on the spectrum. Please don't do it. So that's out of the way. And you can disagree with that all you want. It's just how I feel about it. Now, if you think you're an Aspie but you don't have the diagnosis, you don't know what to do, should I get the diagnosis? Should I get tested for it? Should I not? What do I do? For some, it's really important to know what a professional thinks. To have a professional tell you, after testing you, after talking to you and knowing what you've been through, to say, it's definitely Asperger Syndrome, it's definitely autism, or it's definitely not. But you can't really know that you're going to get a response like that. And also, usually, I would say that the official diagnosis is mostly for two reasons. One is that self-diagnosis is not recommended in any form. No matter what you're self-diagnosing with, it's not recommended. People have a tendency to suddenly over-interpret their own behavior, and suddenly they think they have all of these tons of different diagnoses, and they really don't. So self-diagnosis, not recommended. The second is you actually need to have the diagnosis. You need to have the piece of paper that says that you have this diagnosis, because you need it to get some help with either being in a special class or getting some assistance with raising this child that has the diagnosis, or whatever else it might be. It can be a ton of things, and in most countries you really do need the official diagnosis to get any sort of help, and this includes severely autistic children. Their parents can't get help if they don't have the diagnosis. So that could be a really important factor in it. Now, so far as I understand it, the process is pretty much the same all around the world, except that in some countries it costs a lot of money, and in others the state helps you out with the funding of these tests. In my country, it's free, but in others you pretty much have to be really rich, and I don't know what to do in those countries. I hope that there are places that you can contact that can help you with it, but I really don't know, and I can't reference you to anywhere, and I'm really sorry about that. But the process goes pretty much that you contact your doctor, just your local physician pretty much, and you tell them that you would like to get you or your child tested for this for autism spectrum disorders, and this doctor will then reference you to a psychiatrist. It has to be a psychiatrist because psychologists are actually not allowed to give a medical diagnosis. However, and this is, I think, a pretty good thing to do, is to contact a psychologist specialized in autism spectrum disorders, to just have a bit of a talk with that person, explain your life and the issues that you have, and this person will then write a little bit about you, their assessment, basically. And in my opinion, any decent psychiatrist will definitely consider this in their assessment of you or your child. And these tests include a whole bunch of different things: social quotient, empathy quotient, etc., etc. And I think there are lots of different tests that you can do, and you might not have to go through a lot of them. For some, the testing process can be mostly just talks with the psychiatrist, and for others it can be a lot of other things, like you have to solve this mathematical issue or something like that, and they'll time you or something like that. And this is nothing like an exam. It's not like you have to do it fast. It's sort of a measure of how you do it as well as how fast you solve the problem. One of the things that I was asked to do was to describe toothbrushing and hand washing, and using my own words. And I don't know why, but this is apparently some sort of finding out the words you use and exactly how you describe it, because those on the spectrum will do it a little bit differently. So it can be a whole bunch of different things, and if you're even remotely like adult, even if you're just a teenager, some of these things can seem really stupid, but it's a part of the process. It's a part of them seeing how you do things, getting inside your head. It can be a little bit stressful, so you should be prepared for the days that you have these appointments. Don't necessarily plan anything before or after, because it can be really draining. So yeah, take care of yourselves while you do this, and try not to see it as an actual test. It's not an exam. You don't have to perform well. You just have to be you, and everything's going to be okay. For those of you that just really want to learn something more about it, and once again, self-diagnosis is not recommended, I recommend reading The Complete Guide to Asperger Syndrome by Tony Attwood. It describes it really well and is easy to read for lay people, and it goes into a lot of sort of different aspects of it, and yeah, just a good picture of it, and even describes the difficulties that you have to have in the diagnostic process and stuff like that. It's good, and it's a good place to start anyway. So that's that. And if I forgot something, questions, go, it's cool, comments. Now for the webcam thing. And I really hope somebody has an answer to this, because it is really bugging me. I like high resolution stuff, and I can't do that because it gets really choppy now. The webcam is the same. didn't change, didn't even update the software or anything. I should tell you which one it is. It's a Logitech Pro 9000. So it's fairly old. But all of a sudden, when I tried to open the software to record video, my computer crashed. And so I uninstalled the software, went on the Logitech website and reinstalled it, and now whenever I try to run this on the best resolution, which is 720p, it's really choppy. And I hate it, and I want it fixed. So if somebody can give me an answer to how to do this, it says I have the latest version of the software, and I just don't know what's wrong. My computer is good. It's not like it's a slow computer. Nothing changed except the darn software. Rant over. It's good. Also, people are asking me why all of a sudden all of my videos are private. I really want to change the general tone of my videos, and also at times I feel like I'm sharing too much of my private life here, and I want to stop doing that. So I've set videos on private. Some of them might come back up if I think that either I can't do them better, or if there's nothing that I now don't want to share. So, yeah. I'm weird, and that's just me, and never mind. I hope everyone is doing really well, and I hope you'll continue to be well. And those of you that aren't well, I hope you will get well. Positive vibes. Yeah. I will stop being weird now. Have a great day.